Right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Thursday questions and answers session, where we get to spend time with the analysts who analyze companies for us and giving us their insights into their results and notes, produce notes that can help us make informed decisions. I've got Munib Nana. He's going to be talking to us about Shoprite. And shortly after that, we'll go to Sean van den Berg, who's going to talk to us about the technicals on Shoprite. And then we're going to throw the floor open. You're welcome to type your questions in the chat box, or you can switch on your mic and ask them outright, and we'll have a nice, lively discussion about Shoprite, the people's grocer. Thanks, Munib. Thanks for sharing with us. You can take it away.
Thanks, Harold. Good morning, everyone. Today I'll be taking you through Shoprite, the biggest retailer in South Africa. Touching on the macro environment, we've seen that the South African Reserve Bank revised down the interest rate by 25 basis points. Inflationary pressures are easing, as is well below the SARB's midpoint of 4.5%, which is quite a good outcome for consumers. And just on a valuation standpoint, Shoprite is quite expensive as it is trading above its long-term average, as you are paying for a high-quality company. Then most recently, towards the end of January, Shoprite released the first half of FY25 results. The group sales were up 9.5% to 128 billion. Supermarkets RSA were up 10.4%. Then Checkers Hyper, inclusive of Checkers 6060, that was up 13.4%. Then Supermarkets non-RSA, that was up 4.1%. Just in terms of recommendation, we do have a hold and intrinsic value of 278 Rand with a downside of 2%. Then on the macro environment, on the chart on my left-hand side, the supermarkets RSA food highlighted in red. That's well below the official food inflation, meaning that they are protecting or shielding consumers from economic pressures. Then the chart on my right-hand side, this is from the FY24 results. They had a massive market share gain of 6.5 billion, which is split between Checkers Hyper, and Shoprite Usave, which is the lower LSM income earners. And then just on the revenue and margin breakdown, the CEO done quite well. Over the past few years, we can see constant increase in revenue. The gross margin, which is the gold line on top, that has remained quite stable, as well as the EBIT margins and net margins remain quite stable as well. And this snapshot I got from the FY24 results, just showing the major contributors towards the group revenue. You can see Shoprite Usave contributing 51.1%, with Checkers Hyper, they contributing about 40%. Then Checkers 6060, in the operational update, they done quite well. They were up 47.4%. Then over these past few years, we've seen constant increases in terms of their growth, as these numbers are coming from a strong base period. Just in store expansion, in the operational update, supermarkets RSA, they opened up 248 stores, now going to a total of more than 2,400 stores. We have also seen that they're in pet shops, they're in Checkers Outdoor as well, competing with Cape Union Mart. And then just on the return spaces, within the 2-year and 10-year, the share done quite well. 5-year period, you have made a good return of 151%. So congrats to those who held it for quite some time. And just on the returns and peer comparison, on the chart on top, this is over the past year comparing the retailers to the Cap Swiss as well as the JSE staple sector as a whole. The pink line on top is Pick n Pay. So if you held it within the year, you would have made about 11%. Then Shoprite, which is the blue, you would have made just about 11%. Then on the chart on my bottom left, that's a relative comparison between the peer averages as well as the average PEs. We got the food producers, which is AVI, Tiger Brands, and as well as Lipstar. And the food retailers, Shoprite, Spar, Pick n Pay. You can see that Shoprite is the only one trading above its average PE. A part of it is justified as you are paying for a high quality company, but it does look a bit stressed in my opinion. And then just on the valuation standpoint, compared to our last note, we revised up our intrinsic value about 5%, mainly due to the sale of the furniture business to Pepco Holdings. That will ultimately reduce the debt, as well as a reduction in the share count. Now I'll hand over to Sean to discuss technicals.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Yeah, you can see the chart there of Shoprite. This is until yesterday's close again. Yeah, the chart shows that the share price is trading within I call it a long-term up channel. But since July last year, it's been moving sideways in a bit of a trendless channel with the support level around about the 279 level and the upper resistance levels about 315. You can also see on the chart that the share price is trading just below its 20, its 50, and its 200-day moving averages. So I'm calling both the medium-term and long-term trends bearish at this point. Saying that in the short term, the share price is trading just above its intrinsic value, as Munib said now, 278. It's trading now, was at 283.99, so about 284. And hence our whole recommendation. At the bottom there, you can see the MACD indicator. It is trading in oversold territory and below its trigger line with no bullish signals yet. You can also see the histogram, the volume histogram at the bottom doesn't really show much volume accumulation. So it's a bit flat or neutral. But saying that also, I would say it's a good level now to start nibbling at this stock or maybe adding on to your watch list. That's how I see it.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Munib. Before I get into the technicals here, Munib, don't you want to hop back to your intrinsic values, the bull bear in that case? Are you saying bearish 243? The base case is where we are, intrinsic value of 275 and a bullish value of about 307. All right, will you go back to the technicals now for me? So if we look at this channel that Sean identified here at the top, 100% correct. But what I'm seeing in this channel, Sean, and you can differ from me, is, and I don't know who's got a cursor that they can actually show for me on the chart. I see a triple top. There's a top sort of in August, September. What is it? September. There was a top in November, middle November. There was a top, and there was another top right in the middle of December. So that's a triple top formation. It's normally bearish, and it could, if it breaks the support line, on which we're pretty close at, the intrinsic value that's drawn in here at 278, that makes up the bottom of that channel. If it breaks that, it can pull back the distance from the top to the bottom, which is roughly 280 to 315, I think you said it was, Sean. How much is that? That's 35 bucks. So it can, in theory, go back to about 250, which is very close to Munib's bear case.
But,
so Sean's right, and this thing is going to pull back. I would definitely be waiting for it around the 250 level to pick up some if I don't have today. But other than that, good set of results, good solid company, the whole works. I just wanted to point out what I was seeing on the chart here.
Just from my perspective, you could also argue that support level, we have seen support, I'm looking at November, If price comes down maybe a little bit, that could also be a double bottom.
Correct. You're
Yeah,
right,
so then
Manip.
it could push up
So,
as well.
so that could also be a level to buy at. So around 275, 278, which is your intrinsic value. You could start nibbling, like Sean says. But then at 250, it's hit the target of the triple top, then you can also. So all in all, even though the short-term trend is kind of bearish, the medium-term trend is in that channel. If that channel holds, Manip's 100% right. You can pick up at 275, probably ride it up to just above 300 if you were jobbing it. But I mean, most of our investors are long-term traders, probably holding the stock from much lower levels. But for those that don't have the stock, as we've said, short-term, you could pick up at 275. If it breaks down, don't panic. It should hit another support around the 250 level, because that'll be the target of the triple top then. Just from a technical point of view, a couple of highlights. I see the market is slightly up today. Shoprite slightly up. Not much happening. The rand's back below 19, thankfully for that. But yeah, Shoprite in good shape. Well positioned to carry on making money. See Manip's chart showed Pick n Pay above Shoprite there. I suppose it's only because they came off a very low base, eh, Manip?
Yeah, that's correct, yes.
I mean, they took a couple of big hits before they started turning things around. Well, they haven't turned things around before they split out Boxer and indicated that they were going to put things into place to turn it around. And the market reacting quite positive to that. I'm sitting looking at the meeting chat. If there's anybody with a question, please feel free to ask it outright or type it in the meeting box for us quickly in the chat. If I don't see questions, then I'm going to close it. Sean, we're up with smoking again next week with Ross. I think so. It's BTI next week, and we'll have Ross helping us with that one. Manip, I don't see any questions. I think the Oaks are happy with the analysis. Thank you very much for your insight, mate. Thank you for your take on the technical, Sean. I hope we added some value to you guys, our clients, and we look forward to hosting you next week, Thursday, when we were talking BTI. Thanks very much, guys. Cheers.
Thank you all for joining. Bye-bye.